Good day, everyone. This is the Group 4 from DSMLS 3B, and we are reporting synovial fluid. First, let's start with an overview by Prince Kurt de los Santos.
The synovial fluid, also known as joint fluid, is a viscous liquid found in the cavities of movable joints. The word synovial comes from syn, meaning with, and ov, meaning egg, because it resembles uncooked egg white. It contains hyaluronic acid, which gives it its viscosity and helps differentiate it from other body fluids. This acid is secreted by synoviocytes and is responsible for smooth joint movement. The functions of synovial fluid includes reducing friction between bones, supplying nutrients to the articular cartilage, and lessening shock during joint compression. Here are the reference ranges for synovial fluid analysis. Thank you. The clinical types are type 1 non-inflammatory, type 2 inflammatory, type 3 infectious, and type 4 hemorrhagic. Now let's move on to joint diseases to be discussed by Angela Grace Caballero.
So, for joint diseases, we have creamy color. Basically, the body becomes neutrophils and goes. They are all above 3.5. For the color, the most severe has red-brown or the hemorrhagic. The viscosity, the only high viscosity is type 1. For glucose, type 1 and type 4 has equal to blood level, and type 2 and type 3 has less than blood level. Inflammatory arthritis refers to a group of disease characterized by inflammation of the joints and surrounding tissues. We have the gout and the pseudogout. Next is the specimen collection. In specimen collection, the method used for the collection of synovial fluid is arthrocentesis. The syringe used for collection should be heparinized. Powdered anticoagulants should not be used, and synovial fluid should be stored at room temperature. Now let's move on to the recommended containers for synovial fluid analysis. In microbiology, we have the sterile or heparinized tube SDS. In microscopy, we have the ADTA and the sodium heparin, in which the ADTA is the most used, in which the ADTA is the anticoagulant of choice. The clot formation, gross appearance, chemistry, and serology, we have plain tube or with serum separator. In glucose analysis, we have sodium fluoride. Now let's move on to the CLSI standards for synovial fluid distribution. Tube 1, we have plain red tube for chemistry and serology. Tube 2 for sodium heparin or liquid EDTA for clinical microscopy. Tube 3 for sterile anticoagulant tube microbiology. And for the appearance, we have the deep yellow, greenish tinge, and red-brown. Greenish tinge indicates bacterial infection, red-brown indicates hemorrhagic arthritis. For transparency, we have turbid and milky, and viscosity, we have Ropes Musin clot test or hyaluronic polymerization test. In the Ropes Musin clot test, synovial fluid is mixed with 2.5 acetic acid solution, which causes hyaluronic acid to precipitate, which forms a clot or mucin clot if intact or well polymerized ang hyaluronic. So if it is intact, we have a good, you have a good hyaluronic acid in your body. Now let's move on for the chemical examination by Elisa Sanchez.
The chemical examination test, we have glucose, total protein, lactates, and acid phosphatase and uric acid. The first one is the glucose. It is most frequently requested. Normal, not more than 10 mg per dl, lower than the plasma glucose. Inflammatory disorders, 20 to 60 mg per dl, lower than the plasma glucose. Septic disorders, 20 to 60 mg per dl, lower than the plasma glucose. The glucose is also known as a sugar in our body, normally absent or in a trace amounts. High levels are a key indicator for diabetes mellitus or certain kidney tubular disorders where the kidney hindi siya nag-absorb ng sugar efficiently sa ating body. Number 2 is the total protein, normal, less than 3 gram per dl, approximately one-third of plasma level. increased protein, inflammatory or hemorrhagic disorders. Total protein normally absent or minimal yung amounts niya. Its presence, proteinuria, is often the most significant indicator of renal, kidney disease or damage, as it means the filters of the kidney, glomeruli, are allowing large molecules to leak into the urine. Next slide, please. The lactate and acid phosphatase result from the anaerobic glycolysis in the synovial for the rapid differentiations of inflammatory and septic arthritis. Assess severity and prognosis of rheumatic arthritis. And the fourth one is the uric acid. It is used for gout diagnosis. Uric acid measures the amount of a waste product from purine breakdown. High levels, often in a 24-hour collection, may indicate a risk for uric acid, kidney stones, or a gout, helping to determine if the body is overproducing or underexcreting uric acid. Next, please. So we have the crystal identification. We have the crystal, the shape, the image, the compensated polarized light, and the significance. First one is the monosodium urate. The shape is like a needles. Compensated polarized light is negative birefringence. Significance is for the gout. Second one is calcium pyrophosphate. Shape is rhomboid square rods, and compensated polarized light is positive birefringence, and significance is for the pseudogout. Third is cholesterol, notch or rhomboid plates. Yan po yung image niya. And it is a negative birefringence, and it's for the extracellular. And the corticosteroid, it is a flat and variable shaped plates. Positive po siya, positive and negative siya sa birefringence and sa injection po siya, significance. Calcium oxalate, para siyang envelopes yung image niya, yung shape niya. Negative birefringence, it is for renal dialysis. Significance for renal dialysis. While the apatite calcium phosphate, it is no birefringence and for the osteoarthritis. Next. The monosodium urate runs parallel to the axis of the crystal, negative birefringence, and it is produce a yellow color. While the calcium pyrophosphate dihydrate runs perpendicular to the long axis of the crystal. Positive naman siya sa birefringence, pero sa MCU, monosodium urate, yellow color, while sa calcium pyrophosphate dihydrates produce blue color. So that's all po.